Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Now, we are already in the middle of November, and we're approaching, of course, other Star Wars shows on the horizon by Favreau and Filoni, such as Bad Batch 2, Mando 3, and let's not forget about the Ahsoka Tano series, by far the most anticipated Star Wars show in existence as of right now under Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about, of course, John and Dave is that they are currently raising the bar when it comes to Star Wars. Basically, they have all eyes set on establishing Star Wars legends and exactly how some of the characters are going to be, picked and chosen from different eras of Legends and how they're going to mix in with the current canon post-Return of the Jedi material. And that's one thing to look forward to, is exactly what that balance is going to look like and how it's going to be executed by John and Dave. I mean, that's all that matters, right? Execution, how everything is going to be made, how it's all going to be creatively crafted by John and Dave, and how that's going to work with the audience. So on top of this, what's even all the more interesting has a lot of things to do with Kathleen Kennedy. Now, we know that Kennedy has been a lot more talkative this past month or so, and she's been talking a lot about the acolyte, dismissing George Lucas's vision of Star Wars on purpose, saying a lot of terrible things here and there, but I think that this in particular tops the list when she went on to talk about actress Gina Carano in probably the worst way possible, that I think some fans are really going to find to be very offensive as a president of Lucasfilm that would go this far to actually say this and mean it. Now, of course, she goes on to say, now on top of this, with Kathleen Kennedy now still working on the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, she is still trying to get these shows out on time, especially after having multiple setbacks for each show. Now, Kennedy recently took part in an interview where she talked all about her time over at Lucasfilm, including the firing of actress Gina Carano. Kathleen Kennedy went on to reveal her true feelings about all of that by stating the following: "I will never feel like I made a mistake about how I handled things with Gina Carano. It was a decision that I had to make very fast and on point, and I have no regrets with how I went about laying her off from Lucasfilm. I don't think that she deserved to come into my office for a face-to-face conversation about why we were letting her go. It's just something that we wanted to act on accordingly that would be the speediest scenario. And we are very aware many fans believe that we handled this terribly, but I just didn't want to talk to her personally or even have her in person. I let my assistants handle the entire situation through social media first, and then having them reach out to her personally, but I don't feel that she deserved to speak to me or anyone higher up over here at Lucasfilm after what she did on Twitter and other social media outlets." I want to stop here quick for a second and just kind of go over this quick before I go over the next piece that she says. Basically, what she is saying is that I'm not going to act like any normal employer that has a sit down with an employee about what they did wrong and why they're letting them go. That's basically what she just said, is that she's going to have no professionalism whatsoever. Now, for everybody watching right now, you guys can hate or love Gina Carano. It's fine, it's okay. You all have opinions about what she said on Twitter way back when. It was like in December of 2020, give or take, maybe a little bit before that. But everything related to what happened with Gina on Twitter does not give Kathleen Kennedy the way to justify not putting somebody in person to give them a sit down, why they're getting terminated and let go and laid off. I think that when you look at it like this, every employer is going to do that no matter what. They're going to have that sit down, they're going to have some kind of talk, either verbally or in person, whatever it may be. There's going to be some kind of conversation, even an email. Alright, even Gina Carano did not get an email from Kathleen Kennedy personally. And Kathleen Kennedy here is confirming that she wanted zero communication with Gina Carano and that she is proud the way that she handled things. By spewing this on social media outlets and letting it become known to Gina to reach out to Kathleen Kennedy's assistants to confirm on whether or not she was laid off. Basically, what Kathleen Kennedy did was that she put out the bait, Gina Carano took the bait, and she said, is this true, is this not true? She reached out to Kathleen Kennedy's assistants, and she was just told the truth that she was getting let go because of what she said on Twitter. That, to me, I think is the snakiest thing somebody could really do, and I really don't like how Kathleen Kennedy's putting that out there, that this is something that she was doing intentionally, and that's something also that she's proud of doing because she wanted to avoid awkwardness and toxicity in the environment. Now, moving to the next thing. Alright, this is very important too, about what she had to say. So Kathleen Kennedy goes on to confirm that it was something at the time that we did not want to negotiate at all with. We didn't want to give her a traditional walk into the office to sit her down, and yes, this was intentional. I am trying to put that out there and clear for everyone to know that we don't tolerate behavior with someone like what she did on Twitter. I feel like I did this in the best way possible to prevent us from having further complications and awkward situations. I refused any kind of verbal communication on the phone, written communication through email, and or in-person communication in my office. Now, this is just on a whole new level of craziness. Now, when you look at Kathleen Kennedy, right, you could say all you want about her, right? Even if you do support her work with some of the Star Wars projects that have been put out over the years, and I get it, people have their opinions, it's fine, it's okay. But this is something that I just don't agree with, I'm sorry. Whether you love or hate Gina Carano, this is wrong. And when you look at something like this being told by Kathleen Kennedy and how she's very proud of how she did this and how it was the best way to avoid awkwardness and a toxic environment or a toxic situation, I think what it dwindles down to is that Kathleen Kennedy did not want Gina in her office because she felt that it was going to be a very uncomfortable situation for her to come face to face with somebody. And it really comes off as cowardly in my opinion, because to do this in such a snaky way, to actually have this spew all over the internet first, and to kind of make Gina Carano reach out to her assistants first and get the news, but not directly to Kathleen Kennedy, it just goes to show you that Kathleen Kennedy had some kind of problem facing Gina herself. And that really seems like what it translates to. So, it's been well over a year since she was let go, and John and Dave are still in the talks and still getting her back for Mando 4, and even a potential Mando Season 5, as they want to expand the Mandoverse, as long as Mando 4 proves to be successful. So that's still happening. That is still in the works of getting Gina Carano back as Cara Dune. Disney executives are already still on board. But this is just Kathleen Kennedy recapping of how she felt about what she did to Gina, back in February, I believe it was, of 2021. So, overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.